This woman sits by the bed every day peeping into the lives of the wealthy, and meticulously record the lifestyle habits of wealthy individuals, waiting for the opportunity to approach the wealthy. Finally, one day, the woman waited for the wealthy in the supermarket. He pretended that he didn't understand red wine. I would like to consult a wealthy person, rich people as wine experts. Naturally, I won't miss this opportunity. Watching a woman's charming smile, rich people inevitably feel the wave of spring, a surge of excitement in my heart, even after the girl left. Still reminiscing about the encounter just now. Fortunately, the heavens make it beautiful. At this moment, it happened to rain heavily, and the woman pretended not to call the ride-sharing company. So the man took this opportunity, proactively requesting to send the girl home. But the girl arrived at the rental house. But I heard the noise of arguments inside the house. He stood hesitating at the door. Delayed, dare not enter the door. Give a long sigh. A thoughtful man sees this. So this is a great opportunity. So he invited the girl to his house as a guest. But all of this happened to be seen by the girl's landlord. Not for a moment. They arrived home. The girl was stunned by the big house in front of her. Perfect and flawless decoration design, plus convenient smart home. It's completely different from renting out one's own house. What surprised him even more was that this was actually bought by a wealthy person on their own. Turns out he's a big shot, relying on self-developed security systems, achieving wealth and freedom at a young age, although he has achieved success in his career. But the family is not harmonious. Not long ago, he got divorced from his wife. My wife took away my daughter. From then on I lived alone in this big villa. At this point, the woman told him, I used to be a model. I came here because I was tired of being a clothes lidger, becoming a bartender. When a man is slightly drunk, women's constant cliché, yes. I learned that the man has no friends here. Then we started the next step of planning, waiting for the ambiguous atmosphere to intensify. Women play hard to get. Just get up and leave. One move completely grasped the heart of the wealthy. Subsequently, the closer the two get, the closer they get. Started academic exchange. The next day, when the wealthy are still sleeping soundly, but the woman has already left. But one night's fusion of water and milk released the inner feelings that completely oppress men. Hence, he found a place where women work. In the middle of a woman's lower abdomen, he once again invited a woman to his house as a guest. But just as they wanted to get in the car, but I found a car thief knocking on the car door. Rich people think this is a great opportunity to show off. Don't look at this small car thief. 2 strikes broke the wealthy man's right leg, although not installed. But the wealthy still have the heart of a woman. He asked the wealthy to return their personal care. Take care of her yourself. Of course, wealthy people would love to be with women every day. Without hesitation, I agreed to her. The wealthy are already dominated by their lower body at this time. There's no strange feeling at all. Sitting alone on the sofa, giggling, the woman returned to the rented house to pack her luggage. But he was blocked by his roommate. So their relationship is not average. My roommate took out a woman's peeping notebook, threatening women not to leave themselves. The quiet woman's heart trembled. I can only comfort my roommate first. Subsequently, the woman came to the villa to take care of the wealthy. The two immediately glued together, started a shameless life. Little did one know, my roommate died tragically in the bathtub of the rented house. Women who cohabit are most suspected, but the landlord doesn't even know where he went. And the police also told him the woman's previous identity was fake. Taking a shower with my girlfriend. The man quickly flipped over his bag, reveal a close photo of him and his roommate together. I can tell they have a good relationship. The wealthy didn't hold onto it tightly. There was a slight noise. The woman immediately rushed out. The billionaire has been caught in the current situation, but the woman generously forgave him, and threw away my own bath towel. On the second day, something strange has happened. The rich man's phone suddenly disappeared. The tablet is also out of power, just as he was wondering. But I saw the murder news on TV. The deceased turned out to be a woman's roommate. Rich people instantly cooled down their spine, and at this moment, the woman who was out shopping happened to be back, eating fried chicken on my own. At this moment, the wealthy man told the woman, his roommate died. But when the woman heard it, but there is no turbulence inside. Later, he generously admitted that he had killed him himself. What surprised the wealthy even more was, turns out all of this is a scam, a seemingly wonderful encounter. Actually, it was all done intentionally by women. In order to approach the wealthy, he rented that house, because that's where the observation of the wealthy is about to take place. Encountering a woman in a supermarket is also a deliberate attempt to become a wealthy person. Feeling ashamed of one's love. Angry, make the woman get out of here quickly. But women dare to kill even their roommates. How could you be afraid of a lame man? The wealthy man turned around and was about to leave. The door was then locked by a woman using her phone. It turned out that he had already taken advantage of the wealthy sleeping, unlocking the phone with facial recognition. The enraged wealthy man wants to retrieve his phone. Can be electrocuted directly by a woman to the ground. The wealthy are tied to a wheelchair and unable to move. Women have no scruples anymore. Tell him that his purpose is money. Half a lifetime's hard work of a wealthy man. How can we just give up like this? Hence, women begin to torment the wealthy. Finally successfully pried open the mouth of the wealthy man. The woman completed the transfer. Not yet satisfied, He also wants to monetize all the stocks under the billionaire's name. So I planned to cut open the straps of the wealthy, ask him to make a video call to the bank specialist. How could a wealthy person sit idly by and wait for death? At the moment when a woman cuts the bandage, he quickly reached out and grabbed the woman's neck, but the wealthy only have one hand active. Not enough to strangle a woman, the struggling woman picked up the scissors on the side, get stuck on the wealthy, then take out photos of the wealthy wives and children, threatening the wealthy completely, agreed to a woman's request. The woman unplugged all the internet cables, and put away the communication equipment. Then the moving company was called in. We need to exercise all the precious items here, and what makes the wealthy even more angry is, the driver is actually the car thief who broke himself. The woman then drove to handle the stock transfer process, and at this point, when the landlord was tidying up a woman's room, discovered a telescope. Curious, he immediately put his eyes together, found that the camera was right in front of the wealthy man's villa. Take a closer look, unexpectedly discovered the missing woman, even more discovered that a woman kidnapped a wealthy person. But the landlord didn't call the police, but rather to ruthlessly blackmail the wealthy. He took advantage of the woman's absence, breaking the glass and jumping in, but this also triggered the security system. After Lisa found out, turned back immediately. At this point, the landlord is not yet aware of the danger, sees off the tape on the rich man's mouth, require the wealthy man to pay himself a sum of cash before releasing him, but the wealthy man's cash has long been confiscated by the woman. Helplessly, the landlord could only take away his $8 million worth of oil painting. The landlord is overjoyed, immediately untie the constraints of the wealthy, but at this moment, the woman has already driven back. Angel's face, the devil's heart, used to describe this woman as suitable, but, just because the landlord discovered his secret, he took out a 50-meter machete, and prepared to kill people. The landlord advised, run away immediately with the painting. Fortunately, taking advantage of a woman's pursuit, landlord and wealthy broke free from constraints. He wrapped his feet and walked towards a snowmobile, drive down the mountain without saying a word, but he was carried away by the joy of escaping. Once, hit a stone. The whole person flew out. Fortunately, I met a kind-hearted person passing by. Kind-hearted people immediately saved the injured wealthy man, continuously comforting the wealthy, but the wealthy are too excited. Unexpectedly, I didn't even pay attention to the direction of the car's travel, returning to the hands of women again, and at this point, the woman has already taken the life of the landlord. So this gangster is the stepfather of a woman, having a woman since childhood, and teach him the skills of deception. Special selection of wealthy individuals. This kind of lonely and wealthy person takes action. The arrival of the culprit signifies that the matter is approaching its end. They only have one last step left, is to go to the bank and take out the bearer bond in the safe. But the wealthy never let me, because this is his last card. The gangster heard that they need fingerprint verification. Without saying a word, he cut off the fingers of the wealthy man. The next day is the weekend. The ex-wife and daughter of a wealthy man came back to visit her, but as soon as I entered the door, I noticed something unusual. My ex-wife immediately called my daughter back, but two people came out. They were locked up in the cabin. The wealthy family reunited in a special way, and the gangsters used the fingers of the wealthy to pretend their hands were injured and wrap them up. Successfully passed fingerprint recognition. What they never expected was, open the safe and take a look. There's only one piece of paper inside. Turns out to be the ex-wife of a wealthy man. These debts have already been transferred, and at this point, they also noticed the ventilation of this cabin, just enough to accommodate my daughter. Daughter gets into the vent, successfully escaped from the cabin, saved my parents. But the two gangsters did not receive the debt. I will definitely come back. The gangster inspected the cabin, discovered that the couple had disappeared. Rich people take advantage of the dark side, attempting to sneak attack on the gangster, successfully removed the phone case. Rich people suffer serious injuries, not a match for the gangsters at all, knocked to the ground, and at this moment, a woman also rushed over. The gangsters kept urging women to kill the wealthy. Perhaps women have also had enough of the long-term control of criminals over themselves. Killed the gangster with one shot. When a woman is stunned, the wealthy man slashed into the woman's shoulder with a series of knives, then pick up the phone and quickly run away. With the blessing of a mobile phone, the man finally took the initiative. He turned on all the sound systems at home. Then he turned off all the lights again, so women can't see anything. I can't hear you either. Then through thermal imaging, the specific location of the woman can be clearly identified. Sees the opportunity to sneak attack a woman from behind. But he's physically weak, not a match for women at all. Just when a woman wants a result, my ex-wife suddenly rushed over. Two people wrestling together, but my ex-wife gradually fell into disadvantageous situations. Neither husband nor wife is a match for a woman. Critical moment, just one gunshot. The woman fell to the ground in response. So it was the police who rushed over, picked this wildflower. The price paid by the wealthy is very heavy. He was filled with remorse at this moment. Never dare to take strangers home again in the future.